Hey everyone, this is Matt with Fidgets and Widgets, and today we're going to take a look at CP Design's second spinner, the Corona. As you can see here is the first version. This was the Howl, which did very well. Love the button, by the way, just gorgeous. This was the Howl. This is the first version. This is the new version, the Corona. So we have the Howl on the left, the Corona on the right. And you can see the differences a little bit with the knobs, I call them, and then I'll call them the moons are a bit different as well, and we'll get into that in a minute. But that's initially the look at the Howl, and then the new Corona version which came out. Both will be permanent additions in their line, but for today's review we're going to kind of take a look at the Corona. The cost of it is $60 in a machined finish. That would be this version. If you want a media blasted, which I happen to love the feel of the blast and the blasted look or brushed look, this is $70. So we have 60, 70, and then they're coming out, and I don't have it for the review today, is a heat-treated version, which the heat-treated versions are also $70. In terms of materials, it is stainless steel again. It's got a hybrid ceramic 188 bearing. The weight is 59 grams. And we'll take a look in here at the bearing. Very nice machining finish on it. I like that. In terms of their website, it is a my Shopify store. I'll put the actual link in the written description so that if you want to go to the website, you can track this one or the Howl or the different versions that come out. They just released a one-off black nitride version, which I think lasted about 5 minutes on their site. So clearly I think the spinner's a hit and is doing pretty well. In terms of dimensions, about 2 inches and an eighth of an inch across, a ½ inch thick button to button, and from the knob to the end of the moon is about 1 3/4 of an inch. In terms of spin time, now again, each spinner is different. This one is the regular machined finish. I was surprised. I only got give or take about 40 seconds out of a table spin on this one. But with the blasted finish, I got over 4 minutes. I think you'll find the spin times as they refine these will pick up. Now I know this is going to sound terrible to say, but I do not clean the bearings. I do break them in, but I do not clean them. I try to keep my spinners in good condition, but I do not clean the bearings, at least not yet. But I'm more of a fidgeter. I'm not looking at these for particular spin times. I just like to have something in my hands and something that I can flick. And as you can see with something like this, you certainly can. That one you can already tell is going to run longer. We'll cut that. In terms of, you get basically when you order one, you get a stainless button and you get a heat anodized button so you can change it out. The benefit here is if you want to change the look, you certainly can. You can probably find additional R188 bearings, buttons that will fit in these as well. It's pretty standard, so you can expand the configuration. Again, they started with the Howl. The Corona has done as well. The Howl here, as you can tell, is a bit bulkier. So this one's about 20 grams heavier than the Corona, but it's still based on the original design with some slight modifications. In terms of spin times, again, the blasted did better, but I suspect that over time you'll find that they all do, give or take 4 minutes. CP Designs did state that they are switching from a 1-drop bearing to the FZ's Essentials ceramic hybrid bearing. And again, your spin times are averaging 4 minutes out of the box. So I'm guessing this may have, let's take a look here. Maybe this has a 1-drop in it. And again, I don't know the variations well enough to know if that's a 1-drop, but let's compare it to this one. I love the buttons and the different colors. They really do set it off. Yeah, there we go. So I'm going to guess that this is a 1-drop and that this is their new FZ Essential Ceramic Hybrid, and they're getting a better turnaround time with these and spins. Personally, this is one of my favorite spinners to date. The flicking locations for me are perfect now, and I'll show you that in a second. Let me put these back together. Now, when I look for flicking locations, I'm looking for where I'm not going to get hot spots, but also something that's going to give me a nice feel, so I can grab it on those moons, or I call them half moons, and just flip the half moon. That seems to work pretty well. The knob for me on this one, because it's shorter, is a little harder. On the Howl, the knobs are a lot further out, so I can literally spin from whether it's the moons or the knobs. I can do both in that regard. So again, I can spin it from, and then I can spin it that way. So I can go from the moons either way. If I use my left hand, and that's interesting. People, whether they use their left or right or their dominant hand for spinning, you can take a look there. In terms of the overall design, I think they did a good job. I would think that with my short stubby fingers, again, I'm going to focus on using the moons for the spinning versus the knobs, which again I can get into, but it's hard to get the finger out before it traps in there. But overall, it's a great addition. I think they're going to do some variants. I think they're going to do some additional metals. I think they're going to take a look at some cross-emphasis for collectors. Expect unannounced periodic limited runs. They might do Damascus, copper, brass versions. I think you're going to find a whole lot of opportunity and expansion with this, and I also believe they have a third one that they're probably going to design, and they'll probably focus on the 3 for the time being when that one comes out. And I can't wait to see what's next. They definitely get a thumbs up from me, and hope you liked the video. And whether you get the original Howl or the new Corona, I don't think you're going wrong either way. Just a preference, but love them both. Thanks for checking in, and we'll see you next time. This is Matt from Fidgets and Widgets.